Hi, I'm Donna Wolfe from Naztazia.com.
In today's video, I'll show you how to connect crochet granny squares together with the flat slip stitch method. This produces a nice chain-like effect on the top of your work. And here's what the back looks like. Throughout this video, I'll be showing you how to work along the edge of the granny squares. I'll be using one outside loop of each of the granny squares. And I will insert my crochet hook from the top down, catching only the single outside loop of each of the two granny squares. We'll start with a slip knot on our hook. We'll insert the crochet hook from the top down, catching only the outside loop of the blue granny square. Then we'll insert our hook from the top down, catching only the outside loop of the pink granny square. This is the most important part. The yellow yarn needs to be behind the two granny squares. Now, we'll make a yarn over with our crochet hook and then pull the loop through both the pink yarn, the blue yarn, and the original yellow yarn slip stitch on our hook. Now that we have the yarn connected, we'll move on to the rest of the method. We'll insert our crochet hook into the outside blue loop of one granny square and into the outside pink loop of the other granny square. We'll then make a yarn over and carefully pull that yellow loop through the pink yarn, the blue yarn, and the yellow loop on our hook. We're basically making slip stitches in our work, while at the same time connecting the outside loops of the granny squares. If you've ever done surface crochet before, this is pretty much a very similar technique. You'll continue making slip stitches, connecting the outside loops of the two granny squares until you reach the top of the granny square. If you want, you can connect more granny squares. All you have to do is, where you left off, just begin the process again, using the bottom corner of the new red granny square and the bottom corner of the new green granny square. When you get to the end, fasten off and weave in your ends. Now you can connect the granny squares along their other direction. It's pretty much the same process as before, with starting with the slip knot, and then connecting the granny squares along their bottom edge first and working up towards their top edge. At some point, you will reach a part where the slip stitches intersect. What I usually do here is work all the way up to the top of the granny squares, then make a chain one over the other slip stitches, and then proceed on with connecting the other two granny squares the same way we've been doing thus far. You'll continue upwards until you are finished connecting granny squares. At all endpoints, I like to work my last stitch, then make a chain one to fasten off my work. Then I weave in the ends along the back and put a border around the entire blanket to hide the connections. And that's how I connect granny squares with the slip stitch method.